Yeah, so now I'm going to install Jenkins application on top of my Docker container. So Jenkins is a continuous integration tool and I'm going to install Jenkins on top of Docker containers. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I am going to pull a Jenkins image from Docker Hub. This is my Docker Hub and I'm going to pull this Jenkins image by using a command docker pull Jenkins. Okay, so it has downloaded a newer version of Jenkins. Now I'll check inside my Docker images. I have my Jenkins. So now I just have an image, but I have to create a container out of Jenkins. So if you see this image file, you get lots of detail like um, who is maintaining this file, how do we use this image, how do we back up the data and all. So I want you to copy this command docker run. So docker run -p is for port number. So we are mapping the port number 8080 of my application to the port number 8080 of my Docker containers. And similarly, the second one -p is for port number. I'm mapping the port number 50,000 of Jenkins application to the Docker container. So 8080 is the port number of Jenkins and 50,000 is the port number of Jenkins API and Jenkins is the name of the image. So now it is running the Jenkins image. Meanwhile, I'll open a duplicate session and just check whether my container has been created or not. Now we can see here my container is up and running. So sometimes this execution takes a lot of time. So meanwhile, what I can do is I can go here, I can go to my EC2 instance, uh, copy this public IP of my EC2 instance, open a new browser with 8080 port number. And this will give me a initial login page of Jenkins, the Jenkins dashboard basically. So initially for unlocking the Jenkins, it is asking for an administrator password. So at the time of execution, you get the password here. I wanted to copy this password and then paste it here. And by chance, if you lose the password and if you don't have the password, what you can do is you can anytime you can go to this particular directory where Jenkins home secrets folder initial admin password. You will get the um, password there. Now you can continue and use Jenkins. So this is now they're telling you to customize it, create Jenkins plugin and all. I am not going to do this because my motive was just to let you know that we can launch up a Jenkins server on top of a Docker container, which we are successful to do. Now I'll go back to my PPT and here I see the next topic is Docker file. So I've already explained in the uh, before I have already explained before that Docker file is something which consists of some instruction, and using those instruction when we build a Docker file we get a Docker image, and then using those images when we run that image we get a Docker container. So I'll show you how do we create a Docker file or how do we write a Docker file. I can go to my console. I'll clear my screen Okay, now just check. I'm inside home EC2 user. Now what I want to do is I want to create a directory called as docker file, sorry, mkdir. We'll go inside this file and then we will create a docker file by giving a name of the file as docker file. The file of the name can be anything, but I am giving the file name as docker file, and make sure there is no extension required. You can just edit, you can just create a docker file. So there are some of the syntax which is used while writing a docker file. So we'll be having a argument and a comment. So comment is just to make a user, any new developer, understand that what this particular command or argument is doing. So let's say I will write a comment getting a base image from base image Ubuntu example. So obviously whenever you want to write any file, there should be a base image. So let us say I will be taking my base image as Ubuntu. So my syntax would be from Ubuntu. Let's say I don't want any base image, so that time I'll write it as scratch. So there is an image called as scratch, from scratch. So this is a scratch image. So if you are using this argument from scratch, that means you are not using any of the operating system images which are present inside your Docker Hub. But I would like to go for Ubuntu image. So I am using from Ubuntu. Next will be maintainer. Maintainer is nothing but the name or the author name. It's kind of an author name who is gonna write the Docker file. So I will be giving my details here. You can give your email ID. I will just give some dummy email ID. This is just for a reference. Now there is a argument called as run. apt-get update, and I will add a command named echo hello world. So your question will be, what is the difference between run and cmd command? So run will be uh, executed at the time of image creation, and command will be executed after the image creation while we are creating a container. And there are many more arguments. I would like you to go through this link, docker references, image references. So you get an official Docker documentation page, and you can go to Docker file references. Yep, here. Yeah, you get this folder. You get this link. And everything is explained in very much detail here. So these are some of the arguments which Docker file supports. So we can add, we can copy, we can pass the environment variable, we can expose any port. From is the name of the image or name of the base image. We can label, we can stop the signal, we can give a user permission, we can add a volume, we can change a default working directory. So as of now, I'll just create this